So, obviously, we all love our toy soldiers. Something about moving little plastic men around a battlefield just seems to stimulate that repressed urge in all men to just lead armies and massacre your enemies. And 40K is the biggest fucking wargame franchise in the world, and it's fucking epic. We're covering 40K a lot on this channel. It has fucking Vikings, Romans, Knights, Angry Knights, Elon Musk's children, dwarfs, elves, buds, and they're all in fucking space, just leading constant massacres against each other. So for visual storytelling, it's fucking unparalleled. Fortunately, Amazon really has a bad habit of taking established fantasy and sci-fi IPs and just really fucking them up. They take a few elements out of the original work and ground it into a thick paste, which is then liberally seasoned with identity politics and propagandistic storytelling, which might be a little bit forgivable if they didn't generally strip away all of what made the story enjoyable for fans in the first place. Rings of Power and The Wheel of Time were both absolute garbage. And out of Amazon's original catalog, only really The Boys and Invincible stand out as being genuinely worth watching. And no, I'm not actually going to go in depth on why those shows are so bad. Rings of Power genuinely reads like bad fan fiction about Galadriel written by a 13-year-old on Wattpad. It's horrific. Now, there were plenty of reasons to worry about the upcoming show, given Amazon's track record. But frankly, I'm not actually concerned because Warhammer has something that no other intellectual property has. G-Dubs itself. So, Games Workshop is famously litigious. This is a company who wants an iron grip on its IP more than perhaps anything else. I mean, seriously, this is a company that once tried to sue because they wanted ownership over the words Space Marine, Orcs, and a variety of other incredibly common fantasy and sci-fi words. Now, there are reports by multiple news sites that there is actually going to be a 1-year delay as GW works with Amazon to set out creative guidelines. And more than that, you have the executive producer, Henry Cavill, who was often said to be, well, just overall difficult to work with because, you guessed it, he wanted to stick with the source material when it came to The Witcher. He's a lifelong 40K fan, he paints his own models, he has his own army. To be honest, when you even just hear him speak, there's like this palpable joy. Like, you can tell he has a deep love for the setting, and that really gives me hope that we will see a faithful adaptation. And it's also worth remembering... Shit. We'll edit that out a bit. And it's also worth remembering that GW is in the model selling business. Any single character with a model is immune to race swaps because the character in the show wouldn't be selling the model. That also eliminates the chance for female Space Marines, which are absolutely, no holds barred, forbidden by every element of existing lore. Now that said, I do think there is likely to be some level of diversity in cast, but frankly, Warhammer 40,000 is set in a galactic empire, not a small medieval country like The Witcher. Now, demographics would naturally be more diverse than what you would see in The Witcher, and frankly, I don't think that's that big of an issue as long as the story is not centered around race and gender issues. Overall, I think this is just a lot of good signs, and this might be one of the few shows that are genuinely worth looking forward to.